ahead and do just a little bit of testing. Because I have to. Because I don't want to do everything 3 times. But this seemed like a good use of my time at 5 a.m. I think it's always worth mentioning that this game has... It's not just the best Mega Man music, but it's just some of the best video game music ever, in my opinion. Not just my opinion, but... Sometimes that happens. I think I learned that sequence as a kid and I never looked back. It's so much fun and so satisfying to make those jumps. I know I'm not terribly worried about doing well, because I have a cat, setup's a mess. That's alright. Poor Flash Man. He's just one of those characters that has first and expendable written all over him. And as you can see, that didn't take very long at all. This seems like it takes longer. But I never really had a problem with it because, like, as a kid, it gave me an opportunity to... I was a really fat kid, so I could go ahead and eat during this time. I remember specifically, it was either Flashman or Woodman stage. I was eating homemade fries in the middle of this because I had the time. It's worth taking a look at the password. Yeah. Okay. I like that it makes a noise as if that makes a difference. Alright. This should be interesting, because Metal Man's stage is a little more involved. Like, not for while you're just playing, but if you're doing something stupid like I am right now, then yeah. Come on, E-Tank! So yeah, my name's Eric, so as a kid that was always fun, because I could get the Eric tanks. This will always remind me of, Castlevania Stage 2. I wasn't any good at those either. And I don't know why, it's not like they're particularly hard. Not that Mega Man 2 is the kind of game that would require a lot of farming. These areas are useful. More so if you're like trying to rebuild up your weapons. Like I said, I don't know if anybody really has that kind of difficulty unless you're playing on difficult with the game at all. It's one of, I mean, it's, I don't know. I like 3, but I think a lot of people would just go ahead and say that this one's the best of the series. I wouldn't argue the point. But it's not a particularly difficult game. It's kind of like the people who really, really love Castlevania 4. So, kind of just made me think about playing games that, yes, they are easy, but they are classics for a reason. And this one is kind of the gold standard. I will go ahead and say that for people who haven't played the game on difficult, it's a big difference. Forget that. Just forget it. There's a secret in life that sometimes... Oops, see, look at that. Lord giveth back what Eric lost stupidly. As in Mega Man life. See? Life metaphors in gaming. That is why this is so much fun. Oh boy. I can't do this. Okay, I can. Good grief. It's been a hot minute since my muscle memory for, Mega Man 2 is kicked in, so... And... zero coffee. Just woke up, decided to get out and do some stuff. I don't know why I'm doing this right now. You almost don't even have to watch where Metal Man is. It's just... You should be paying more attention. I should be paying more attention to just the, the metal blades. Or, the secret to all gaming is Metal Blade. Quite possibly the most overpowered weapon. I don't even know who would argue that. What's the most overpowered weapon in gaming? Metal Blade? Contra spread gun? Maybe? I don't know if that's overpowered, it just makes the game so much more manageable in Contra. Metal Blade... It's just cheating. Like... You don't even think of Heat Man's weapon being what to use on Woodman just because, like, oh, saw blades, yeah, that'll work. And you're not wrong, because Metal Blade works on damn everything. Alright. Yeah, see? Like butter. Sorry, I don't like how that came out. It came out sounding like a certain someone that keeps me up at night. Oh, son of a beehive. I wonder who decided that... I mean, bats, yeah, sure, whatever. It's a video game, right? It's NES. But who decided that, flaming robot dogs would be part of Woodman's stage? It seems like a hazard. Or, rabbits who shoot rocket carrots at you. That has a lot to do with the forest. And robot monkeys, sure. Why not? So, I mean, could you critique this? At least the level design with the enemies. Like, why are there why monkeys? Why ostriches? It's like, yeah, sure, woodland, right? All animals live in the same climate. But that's when I have to remind myself, Eric, you're really putting too much pressure on this, or any game. If it's fun, then I don't think it's worth Okay. Ostrich tone. I mean, they don't exactly look like ostriches, but I don't know what else to call them, so... Son of a... Monkey! I also like that Dr. Wily has to brand everything after himself. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm really... I must have had a dream or something about the American political system. Ha! I was not looking where I was shooting. That was funny. Alright. But yeah, would you know that that wasn't the appropriate weapon for that boss? No. Unless you want a one-hit kill. Which I was never really a big fan of anything that caused a one-hit kill. With the exception of the golden gun in GoldenEye. That was fun in multiplayer. I think I'm remembering that correctly, but it's been a while. Yeah, see, the thing is with this game is that it just really just comes down to who do you want to kill next. It's not, like, once you have Metal Blade, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna regret this. It's not that this is difficult, but it is in terms of the platforming that's required. But it's more of, like, just memories of how hard it was to learn how to do it. Although, doing it while talking, only paying... Well, I'm not saying I'm paying only half attention, but it's not your full attention, right? And oh my goodness, do I ever suffer from a fear of heights? So, I don't know why I love platforming games, but I do. Maybe it's because this is the only way I could ever actually, I don't want to say it's the only way that you could overcome that fear, but for me. But at the same time, if I'm being realistic, there's just so much opportunity for cheat deaths, slipping of the controller. My hands are already, like, wet. And I don't know how many times I've done this, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but it always is. It's like, hey, go back and play Hollow Knight again. How in the world did you make it through that? You shouldn't be nervous about this at all. Oy. Also fun if you have to sneeze at this time, which I kind of do. Oh, that thing was really close to flying up my butt and killing me. Why is that funny? I don't know. Oh. I don't like the birds, but they are generous. May have been saved by a glitch, I don't know. But yeah, one of the more nerve-wracking stages in the game, to me. Okay. And I don't know why. Although I do love Airman's Dr. Wily logo there, with the black and the pink and the blue. It's probably my favorite in the game. I don't think Metal Blade works on Airman, but I'm gonna try it. I don't think so. No. That's fine. That wasn't the goal here. I remembered. Oh, my goodness. I have played this on difficult before, and it's ridiculously interesting to me how easy it can be. I don't know, is that just like the difference between... I think maybe it's just the difference between the Japanese version and the American version? But... does that surprise anybody? No. I mean, everyone knows that, you know, we got Mario 2 because, one, the graphics were the same, and two, it was way too hard for American audiences. So, or at least it was determined to be that way. And if you play it, you know, kind of obvious. Maybe not for today's gamers, I don't know. Not saying that today's gamers are better than my generation or the previous one, but I do... No, never mind. They don't have the attention span. Sorry. Okay. One of the hard things about Bubble Man for me, it always, is just the background messes with your eyes. And again, essentially, same stupid platforming as Airman here. I mean, it's no different. You're just making jumps. The background doesn't actually matter. This is a little nerve-wracking, but, you know, it's just jumping. You don't have to really position yourself in any kind of way to make it work. And I think this is actually what Metal Blade is intended for, as Bubble Man. But, like I said, it doesn't matter. Anybody who knows this game knows that it's just the GOAT. Alright. Man, I remember back in undergrad trying to learn to mimic what was one of the world record runs of Mega Man 2. And I could not even get remotely close. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, people could just jump and boom, 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 and like that, but with complete seamlessness of motion. And all I gotta say is respect. I couldn't even come close. But, like, you know, running through the game, and this game isn't terribly long. Maybe hour and a half. Casual. Maybe. So, if I keep going. Oh, that is just... I may have to revise my comment. That's pretty cool. Dr. Wily symbol for Bubble Man. Not sure where silver comes in, but... maybe it's an allusion to the alien robot later. Or just the name of the weapon, Bubble Lead. Alright. I think I've been doing this testing too long. That's alright. Like, I kind of started out doing it as a test, and if it works, it works. Doesn't, it doesn't. I think I'm purposely just avoiding Heatman stage, because, again, it's not my favorite. Neither is this one, really. Or Crashman. So, there is... I don't always pick the same route, more fun that way. But these three tend to be the last ones for me. Son of a... That shouldn't happen at this stage of my life. But that's okay. Like, do I need to use that? No. But losing a life bothered me. It sounds more reasonable when you just say it like that. And what? No, I don't want that. Sometimes I have used Flashman's time stop just because I hate the bars. Ugh. There's such anxiety associated with it. Because you're not that fast. I'm not that fast. As long as you keep jumping, nothing to worry about. I'm a sad human being for doing this. But, oh well. I don't usually go for that item either. It's not gonna have a great outcome, I don't think. Yep. Why is that difficult? It always has been. At some point I should talk about the number of stupid things that have always plagued me in gaming, and they make no sense. For example, this situation where, yeah, this shouldn't be, there's nothing really that difficult about this. It's just simple jump, move. Wow. Can I honestly even attempt to share this if I can't? I mean, the evidence is already there. There are just certain holes in my intellect and abilities for quick movements. This part of the game is always one. Probably the hardest part in the game to me. I'm going to continue because, as in life, the game does allow you to reevaluate your choices. But yeah, no, there are just certain gaps when it comes to gaming, when it comes to other stuff. Like, the other thing with NES gaming, for me, is that everyone knows Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and everyone should remember the character of Soda Popinski. He's essentially a sprite for Super Macho Man later in the game that I don't have trouble with. Macho Man's fine. As a kid, it was a little bit more difficult, but as an adult, no. But as an adult, I still have problems with Soda Popinski. I cannot explain why. I'm gonna go ahead and start that here. think that they kind of expect you to use that there. But I could be wrong. I don't know why I think of those things as being named Norman. I don't know if they have. Like, I never really looked it up, but just as a kid, we used to call them Normans. That's not even interesting. But, Can't recall if Metal Blade really does much for Quick Command, but Metal Blade does a lot for everyone. Oh shit. Nope. Sorry. No. The answer is no. Oh, that's not bad. Airman's Crashman, though. I don't know. There's better things to use. Well, yeah, Flashman. Combo Flashman, Airman, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I usually just get here and use Plasma, but again, when you're not really concentrating, it's a lot easier if you just use hopefully the right weapon, but a weapon that will work. Ah, there's a life lesson, too. Use a weapon. Doesn't have to be the right weapon, as long as it works. Again, 5:54 right now. I really hate Heat Man because, or I must, just because Crashman never interested me. His design, the weapon. I mean, crash bombs are fun, but I mean, it's because of what you have to do with them in Wily's castle. Excuse me. Anything that requires you to make sure that you don't use all of your shots, or else you have to let yourself die to come back. It's just... And again, this is good practice for what comes later, but if you've played the game more than once, this is just tedious. Tedious, but at the same time, it is relaxing. It is very relaxing. Because so much of the game is muscle memory. You don't have to be in a hurry. You kind of want to be a little bit, but... Oh. I thought I missed that. That was an unsatisfying kill for Metal Blade. Just a little clink and then poof. On difficult though, those things are crazy. Explode, do all kinds of stuff. Not that I should need a refill. Oh, I do not care for stages that use this design. It's just designed to frustrate you. And so many games do this on NES. Thank you, Metal Blade. It greatly reduces the stress. Could get that, but I won't. Yeah, and I don't understand this stage. Like, these enemies. Crash Man, why? What are those even supposed to be? Suction cups? Bobo dolls? I don't... I really have to reevaluate how I think of the Wily symbols. The color variations, because that one was pretty cool too. I just kind of ran through it because I wanted to get through the stage. And for some reason, I always thought this took place in space. Now I realize there's no real reason to think that. Because you'd be jumping up all in, like, space stages in Mega Man aren't that uncommon. Like where your gravity is, but the gravity is all different, you can jump differently. I don't know. I thought it was space as a kid, so. Wow, only one more. And I did not intend to sit down and do all this at once. Ugh. Can't explain it. I'd have to go to therapy to explain why this stage gives me so much anxiety. In a controlled setting though, so it's alright. Yeah, when I say things like that, I have to clarify because, you know, I'm afraid of heights, but I love platforming games because it's a controlled environment. This one just combines jumping and sort of a natural evolutionary fear of falling into fire. Because I'm sure that happened a lot in human history. But it's one of those things that you don't have to have been stabbed to fear being stabbed. I think it was John Carpenter. It was some documentary about Halloween series that I heard that there's just something about being... It wasn't Carpenter, it was someone talking about the series, though. Everyone can imagine being stabbed. There's that, and... well... I don't know. Like, I don't want to go total Freud on that explanation, but... I mean... sorry. But, it makes sense. Oh, goodness. Wow. I was actually lucky. Let's see. Okay, finish your thought. But yeah, everyone can imagine being stabbed, and that's scary. And yeah, if you fall into a... Not 3, you dumb bum. Something about fire being dangerous. It's just natural. Sorry, that cough sneeze really messed me up. My concentration was shot. Such a boring, like, it's almost a short stage, or it feels that way. But don't care for it. Don't like that you have to use bubble lead. Well, you don't have to, but it makes sense. I don't like having to get up close. It feels like it's a projectile. I shouldn't have to shoot it right at your face. Alright. So I just ran through the first half, Mega Man 2, and do I feel relaxed? Yes, I do. Because it's completing a task that you know is going to reinforce, like, you do it, you're successful, and it makes you feel better. It's the same reinforcement loop that works with doing laundry, doing dishes, simple tasks that, you know, make you feel like you're accomplishing something even though you're not. Except having fun, which is also productive. You need to learn to let yourself have fun and consider that productivity. Because if not, you're just stressed and bored. Alright, anyway, that's enough. I will revisit Wily's Castle at a different time. But anyway, this was fun, so good morning.